kids, whole, you feel me, bitches, kids, regular everyday shit. But it's like you will overdo it to the point where, like, you feel me, you want to take care of it so much and get everything right so much it distract you from just doing what you really supposed to be doing. You feel me?
Fire, yeah.
So you gotta learn how to balance it out a little bit.
With that being said, you feel like, first of all, congratulations, welcome home, baby.
Yeah,
you already know.
You already know. That too, getting locked
Definitely,
up.
yeah. I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
You feel like coming home, you had to do a whole reset.
Yeah, kind of like a reset, but not really a reset, because I already had my mind right. You feel me? It just, you come home with more distractions too. You gotta just stay straight, you know what I'm saying? Focus out.
Right.
The fact that I had a...
You know, Bobby kept this solid, this and that. I don't see Bobby Shmurda featured on anything Young Thug related. I'm not sure if he did something with the Migos. I think actually they did give him a feature, but them giving him a feature, it's kind of like doing something behind closed doors because nobody's gonna see the song. You know, Bobby Shmurda dropped an album in 2022. I didn't know, nor did I care, because he was dropping some buns after.
Did you ever, when you were locked up or years later, like, get that paranoia? Or were you able to just shut that part off?
I don't know if I ever was paranoid about things. Yeah, I don't think I was ever paranoid, because I've always felt like, you know, whatever happened already happened, and you know that I always felt good. I always felt good. Consciously, I felt like, you know, if anything, you know, karma. You know, but other than that, I didn't feel like I was about to be rearrested for some other stuff. You know, I didn't think that.
Right.
Yeah.
I seen on the Instagram, it was, I didn't know, who am I? I don't have a stage show. I'm terrible on stage. But it was bad, Jack.
I didn't really catch it though. Was it that bad?
That was terrible.
In the hyper-accelerated world of modern hip-hop media, the streets of New York are currently engulfed in a firestorm where the lines between digital content, algorithm chasing, and real-life consequences are dangerously blurred. We are witnessing a pivotal moment in the culture, a simultaneous combustion of two distinct but thematically linked storylines involving three of Brooklyn's most recognizable figures: Fivio Foreign, Maino, and Bobby Shmurda. On one side of the city, a cold war of words and ideologies has erupted between the new school drill sensation and the entrenched king of Brooklyn, centering on the definition of loyalty. On the other side, the physical dangers of the rap lifestyle have manifested in the Midwest, where Bobby Shmurda finds himself at the center of a viral controversy involving a nightclub brawl and a missing chain. These events, while separate, paint a comprehensive picture of the current state of the industry, where every move is scrutinized, every podcast clip is a potential declaration of war, and the cost of being a public figure is higher than ever. To understand the volatility of the current situation between Fivio Foreign and Maino, one must first understand the deep-rooted history that serves as the backdrop. For over a decade, the rift between JimJones and MaxB has been one of the most defining conflicts in New York hip-hop. It is a feud that fractured the Dipset legacy and forced an entire generation of artists and street figures to pick a side. In this equation, Maino has firmly positioned himself as JimJones's brother-in-arms. Maino is not just a rapper, he's a traditionalist, a man who abides by the 80s baby code of conduct, which dictates that a friend's enemy is automatically your enemy. There is no middle ground, no Swiss neutrality, and certainly no partying with the opposition. Maino recently went viral for articulating this exact stance on his joint show with JimJones, explicitly stating that he would never attend a MaxB celebration because his loyalty to Jim supersedes any industry networking or casual cordiality. To Maino, this isn't pettiness, it is principle. However, the ecosystem of New York rap is changing, and the younger generation does not necessarily subscribe to these rigid, inherited conflicts. Enter Fivio Foreign. The face of Brooklyn drill recently sat down on an up-and-coming media platform and, in a move that shocked those paying attention to the nuances of city politics, seemingly decided to jump out the window. When the conversation turned to the topic of rappers who take on the beefs of their friends, Fivio did not speak in vague generalities. He specifically referenced MaxB and the concept of misplaced loyalty. He argued that people often involve themselves in situations that are not their party, creating a distraction from their own business and due diligence. This was not a slip of the tongue, it was a precision strike. By using MaxB's name, Fivio Foreign was sending a direct subliminal shot at Maino. He was effectively critiquing Maino's entire philosophy, labeling the OG's code of honor as a hindrance to success rather than a badge of integrity. Fivio's comments suggest a modern, pragmatic worldview. Why limit your own movement, money, or connections because of a war you didn't start? To Fivio, Maino's refusal to engage with the MaxB side of things looks less like loyalty and more like a man allowing himself to be a pawn in someone else's chess game. But in the streets, calling a man's loyalty a distraction is a severe form of disrespect. It implies that Maino is not thinking for himself, or worse, that he's prioritizing a friendship over his own growth. The complexity of this situation is compounded by the tangled web of relationships within the industry. Fivio Foreign and JimJones have, until now, appeared to have a solid relationship. They have been seen together on numerous occasions, collaborated on music, and Fivio even appeared on Jim's show, where they bonded over their shared status as New York heavyweights. For Fivio to turn around and critique the very loyalty that defines Jim's inner circle suggests a fracture that the public was unaware of. Is Fivio feeling alienated? Did something happen behind the scenes? Or is this simply the case of a younger artist feeling emboldened by his own stardom, believing he is big enough to critique the old heads without repercussion? Furthermore, Fivio's comments shine a spotlight on the hypocrisy, or perhaps the flexibility, of others in the circle. It was noted that Dave East, who co-hosts the show with Maino and JimJones, actually attended the MaxB festivities. If Maino is the rigid enforcer of the code, Dave East represents the newer, more fluid approach, similar to Fivio. Yet, Fivio chose to direct his energy towards the ideology that Maino represents. This has led to speculation that Fivio is trying to bait Maino into a response, using the algorithm to generate controversy and keep his name in the headlines. In an era where digital Hollywood rules supreme, a beef with the King of Brooklyn is guaranteed engagement.
But Fivio is playing a dangerous game. Maino is known for his aggression and his willingness to confront disrespect head-on. He is not the type to engage in a prolonged TikTok war. He is the type to demand that you stand on your words when you see him face to face. While the city waits with bated breath to see if Maino will respond to the sparkling donut energy of Fivio Foreign, another drama has unfolded that highlights the physical rather than philosophical dangers of the rap game. Bobby Shmurda, a peer of Fivio and a legend in his own right, found himself in a precarious situation in Minnesota. Reports surfaced alleging that Bobby was involved in a massive brawl at a nightclub, an altercation that reportedly resulted in his chain being snatched. The internet was quickly flooded with a photo showing a hand clutching a diamond pendant, accompanied by a ransom demand of $10,000. The Bobby Shmurda incident stands in stark contrast to the Fivio-Maino situation. While Fivio is fighting a war of words, Bobby was fighting a physical war against a mob. Since his release from prison, Bobby has projected an image of joy and liberation, traveling the world and enjoying the fruits of his sacrifice. However, the incident in Minnesota serves as a brutal reminder that the streets are not a monolith, and respect in Brooklyn does not always translate to safety in the Midwest. When an artist leaves their home turf, they are often viewed not as icons, but as targets for local crews looking for a come-up.
The visuals circulating from the incident are chaotic. Videos show a scuffle where Bobby appears to be standing his ground, fighting back rather than running or hiding behind security. In the court of public opinion, this earns him points for toughness. He didn't fold. However, the loss of jewelry is a symbolic defeat that strikes at the heart of a rapper's image. The image of the alleged snatched chain has sparked a fierce debate regarding authenticity in the age of AI. Many users in the comment sections are claiming the photo looks fake, generated by artificial intelligence, or that the ransom demand is a hoax. The skepticism is palpable. We have reached a point in media consumption where even photographic evidence of a robbery is questioned. If the photo is real, the $10,000 ransom demand adds a layer of insult to injury. In a world where rapper chains often cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, a four-figure ransom implies a recession special, a desperate grab for quick cash, rather than a calculated high-stakes heist. It diminishes the glamour of the lifestyle and reduces the conflict to petty theft. The overwhelming consensus from the public is a mix of concern and critique. Bobby Shmurda, despite his reputation as a warrior who served 6 years for his team, needs to tighten his security.
They were wrong. While all of this was going down, Pooh Shiesty was sitting in a federal cell, unable to speak on the situation until now. Everyone wondered if Shiesty would play the middle ground for the sake of his career, given his past hits with Moneybagg. But Shiesty made it clear that he is Choppa Gang first. On FDO, he didn't subtweet, he went straight for the jugular by echoing Big 30's specific insult about plastic surgery. By doing so, Shiesty sent a clear message that the peace treaty is void. This moment is dangerous because Shiesty isn't just a rapper, he is a massive influence with a reputation for being reckless. By jumping into this beef immediately upon release, he has signaled that the Choppa Gang versus Bread Gang war is active, leaving Moneybagg Yo in a corner where silence might look like weakness, but engagement could lead to real street consequences.